Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the whole elect. Noise in the gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. And boy, oh boy, behold your woman. Fair use, fair use. I make no money for this content. This is just to inform my audience on the type of mental depravity that our people are suffering from. Our people are seriously sick in the head, man. All right, here you got this woman, this big 300+ pound woman, and she sit back and do mukbang videos, and, you know, she do it for clout and likes and fame and attention, and not knowing the effects that it's having on the body and the mind. As far as our health is concerned, Jake would do anything for attention, man, even if it means unaliving themselves. Because basically what she's doing, she's killing herself slowly, as she's already obese. She's 300+ pounds, and she sits in a vehicle, and she does these videos on fast food, whether it be Popeyes, Burger King, McDonald's, rib tips, you know, whatever abomination she can get her hand on. She has a mouth full of it. And the fucked up part about it all is that the people that's on our comment boards, they're not saying anything about it. Instead, they bigging it up. You know, they're commending it. They're giving the props, kudos. And, you know, nobody's shaming this type of behavior. As the scriptures say, suffer not sin upon your neighbor. Gluttony is a fucking sin if you think about it, because, I mean, it's out of balance. And the funny part about it all is the fact that our people, they're so hell-bent on being entertained to the point they don't care as long as they're being entertained. Because when they look at this woman, it's nothing but entertainment purposes for them. You know, because they're not going to tell her to better herself or to get her life right or to, you know, continue to fix her health. But instead, they're going to help her deteriorate further. So I got 2 videos of this woman, which she has quite a bit. I guess this is her Instagram handle, Tamika XXX. And, you know, they show her like with bikinis on, dildos. I mean, this woman is a complete demon. All right. And clearly the elevator don't go all the way up to the elevator don't even go up. The elevator don't even go up halfway. You know, like you have them project buildings and you got 15, 16 stories. The elevator may stop at floor number 2 and may not run for the whole goddamn day. And that's the case of this right here. You know, unhealthy, obese, bowels is probably on 20. You know, just imagine what comes out of her when she does decide to have a bowel movement. Because a person like this, I could tell you right now, they're not pushing out bile. Okay, she may have a bowel movement maybe once or twice a week, if that. Okay, because the scriptures go into choler, you know, or being dainty upon meats. Like it's better to die than live a continual life of sickness. So 9 times out of 10, this would be the way that this woman goes out, because the Lord is very keen on making examples out of people that choose to live their life in wickedness. So anyway, I'm going to play this video. We get a couple of precepts, and I'm going to just shake my goddamn head because this is sad, bro. You know, too many of you black women, they say 60%. Matter of fact, I think it's like a good 60 to 70% or 80% of you black women are morbidly obese. Let that sink in.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? I went to Burger King to get me a fish sandwich. They said the fish sandwich at Burger King was
not feminine at all. You can hear you can literally hear the food in our throat. You can hear the shit in our lungs, man. You know how like when you eating and you swallow and something get caught in the grip of your neck and you trying to talk and you got the burger halfway down and your voice, you're able to kind of get the words out a little bit. It's like you talking and swallowing at the same time. That's what she sounds like. No, I ain't even trying to be funny, but it's just the reality of it is you black women are fucking pathetic. You are sad and you are a disgrace to be called Israelites, man. You are a disgrace to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai.
Oh. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? I went to Burger King to get me a fish sandwich. They said the fish sandwich at Burger King was one. Then they got some cheddar bombers. Oh, a beer? And them cheddar bombers are good.
No.
Yeah, go try that out. Here got my fish sandwich. I had got an extra fish. Oh, shit.
And that's deep fried food, man. That shit is fried in canola oil. I mean, the worst oils out there. White bread with all types of chemicals in it. That ain't real food. It's chemicals, man. And she's sitting up there literally stuffing her fat face with this food, man. And the crazy part about it is there's no shame. Okay? See, when there's no shame, then this type of behavior is what transpire. See, we need to bring back public shaming. See, in a time of Yahweh Shem Shai in the ancient world, see, you had public shaming. When you do some bullshit, then, you get put out there. You get put on blast. You get put in a hot seat. And that way, it teaches you a lesson and those that may be around you to not engage in this type of behavior. But this society, you can't correct anybody because everybody is all emotional. Everybody's sensitive. You can't say anything to nobody. You can't look at nobody a certain type of way. And God forbid you call a bitch fat. You fat shaming. Well, fat needs to be shamed because obese lifestyle is not something to commend. That's a horrible way to fuck. That's a curse, man. Proverbs 23, and I'm gonna start at verses 20. It says, "Be not among wine bibbers, among riotous eaters of flesh." Okay? And she's an eater of flesh, man. It ain't talking about actual cannibalism. But she's completely out of balance, man. She's a riotous eater. Now, when you look up the word riotous, let's see what it means. It goes into the words, the law, right? And it says to be worthless, to be vile, insignificant. To be worthless, insignificant, to make light of, squander, be lavish with, to shake, but it says to be worthless and insignificant, man. This is insignificant behavior. It's pointless. It says, for the drunkard and a glutton should come to poverty, and drowsiness should clothe the man with rags. Now, when you look up the word glutton, all right, glutton, same thing. To be worthless, vile, insignificant. Righteous eaters, a glutton, worthless, an excessive greedy eater, an excessively greedy eater, a gourmand, but it says an excessively greedy eater. Which is what she is. All right. But it says here, for the drunkard and a glutton should come to poverty, and drowsiness should clothe the man with rags, man. All right. But it called her a glutton. And when you go into the definition of glutton, it goes into a greedy eater. And no way in hell this woman should be eating this goddamn much, man. Especially unhealthy foods. This is why the black woman is all fat and out of shape. Because it tells you here, Isaiah 3, and I'm going to start at verses 24. It says, and it should come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there should be stinky. She has a horrible hygiene. I guarantee you, man. She uses the washroom. Hey, she got to put the do not disturb sign up there. Hey, don't go in for a couple of days because she's going to blow that shit up, man. Trying to tell you, because a person like that, their bowels ain't moving and just rotting, fermenting in their gut. And they have all types of parasites and diseases and inflammation. And eventually it's going to lead to a heart attack. Okay, diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure, which is hypertension, kidney problems, all types of shit. Because the body can't keep up with the filtration process because she's toxic. And it says here, instead of sweet smell, there should be stink. Instead of a girdle of rent, and instead of well-set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding sack of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Obese, morbidly obese.
Oh, girl, this fish sandwich is good with extra tartar sauce, y'all.
American cheese too.
And cheese. And I got paper towels, y'all. These cheese bombers, they small. They good. Big. And bitch, they got tacos. Let's see what they tacos give me. Let me see if I tell y'all to go get them. I think they mentioned they haven't put enough cheese on them. Hold on. They almost taste better than Jack in the Box.
Like Apostle Ricard say, Big Shirley, you can't convince me that this person is not suffering from some mental issues, man. That's clearly something going on in the spirit. You know, obviously you're depressed and she may want to die. I mean, this could be a cry for help. Who knows? But, I mean, if you that big, I mean, this is seriously like, this is why Yahweh Shah has to destroy the 2/3. Because if you pay attention, like, if you look down here, all that right there, that's all stomach across the dashboard, bro. Then she got the nerve to have a tray attached to the steering wheel, bro. Like, she's prepared to do this shit. All that right there, that's from here to here, that's all stomach. Okay? Literally, her stomach takes up the driving seat, bro. Lord forbid if she had to come to a sudden halt and brake. She might not be able to stop the damn car, man. And that's just real talk. This is why you black women are undesirable. That's why nobody wants your ass, man. You know, and then the crazy part, you got a bunch of other fucking black women in the comments that's commending this instead of telling this woman to get her shit together and go on a fucking fast or something. Do something. Go pray. They're commending her, man. That's why you 2/3 niggas ain't right. And we gonna call it out. Go here. You're supposed to take that and you're supposed to put it in the spirit world. Deuteronomy 21. And I'm going to start at verses, matter of fact, let's start at 18, because this is something that's supposed to have been stomped out before this became an adult. So it says here, this is the book of Deuteronomy 21 and 18. It says, if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, and his daughters too, okay, mankind, all right, it ain't just the men, because you got women too. It says, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, in this case, her mother or her father, that when they have chastened her, I'm not going to add to the scripture, so we're going to read it verbatim, but we know through the spirit, it says, we're not hearkening to them. Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of the city and into the gates of his place. And they should say unto the elders of this city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious, in this case, the daughter. He will not obey our voice, and he is a glutton and a drunkard, a glutton, a useless person, man. Okay, this is just a waste of spirit. This is a waste of air. You know, that's why the scripture say, let those that were born in vain perish. And it says, and the men of his city shall stone him with stones that he die, so that thou shalt put away evil from among you, and Israel shall hear and fear. And that's the thing. We had public shaming then, okay? If you was an adulterer, you would be made a spectacle out of. You would be put on blast so everybody can see what your wicked ass was about. And we'll make an example out of you so that wickedness don't spread, man. Okay, see, when you have wickedness that goes unchecked for so long, then you have this type of behavior. This is why these women are walking around with their ass out, their titties out, and you can't say anything to them because wickedness is at an all-time high. Okay? Matter of fact, let's get that real quick in Habakkuk 1, and I'm going to start at verses 4. It says, therefore the law is slack and judgment never go forth. Yeah, because adultery runs rampant because there's no judgment for it. And then you got the audacity to say, in God we trust. And then the funny part about it is, in the courts, they swear on the Bible. They tell you to swear on the Bible under perjury or whatever the fuck it is they want to call it. You swear on the scriptures, and then you go to jail for unaliving your wife for sleeping with a committing adultery. And then you go in the courts and you recite the law of adultery. Then Esau will lock you away anyway. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought in God we trust. You know? But it says, because therefore the law is slack and judgment doth never go forth, the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceeded. That's why there's no repercussions for the behaviors of these women or these men. Like a man could walk around like we in Pride Month, and you had the mayor, Quentin Lucas, that Mo, which I suspect him to be, happy anyway, if you know what I mean. But basically, he's out in the parade and all this other shit, playing games with these sodomites, and he's out there with the flag on and all this other shit. But didn't the tornado just hit your city last week, bro? Didn't we just have wildfires on the outside of Kansas City, literally the night of the Passover? And you want to play games with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai? You got some real, you have some real courage about you, my man. That's why you brothers, you got to keep throwing up curses on this place, man. You can't let up on it. Every day, throw up curses on this place. All right? It's the book of Sirach 31, and I'm going to start at verses. Let's start at verses 17. It says, leave off first manners' sake, and be not unsatiable, lest thou offend. And when thou sittest among many, reach not thy hand out first of all. Right? Because you got a lot of jakes, man, too, that don't understand order. Like, there's an order even among the camps. When we have our gatherings, the elders, they always eat first. And you brothers, you got to get in the habit of exercising that, especially when you go around other men. Now sometimes, it is what it is. When brothers are hungry, they do what they do, but there's still an order. Okay, you don't go to other camps and follow that, but in your own church, you choose to throw it out the window. No, man. The elders in this church is just as important as elders in other churches, man. So you brothers got to be on that. Your elders, they eat first. Even if they neglect to eat first, just make an attempt to make sure they're served first, man. That's how that works. And if you don't like it, then go somewhere. All right. But it says here, a very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured. Very little. Like, I may eat once a day, twice a day. Like, I just had I had a smoothie, and I had some Mexican food, and I had like a piece of chicken. Jake was pretty hungry, right? But the smoothie and the Mexican food held me over, so I got like maybe 5 wings in the refrigerator, and I may eat that tonight. I may not. Depend, because I metabolize food pretty quick. So I may eat that or I may not. If it's after 7 o'clock, I probably don't eat it. I'll probably eat it tomorrow. But I may eat like one good meal a day. I may eat like in the late morning, and then maybe like some eggs, some oatmeal or something like that. Or if I don't get a chance to eat in the morning, I usually eat in the afternoon, a decent sized meal. And I may eat, right when the sun go down or before, and may have 2 meals a day or a meal and a half a day. But I don't eat 3 times a day, man. It's just like I don't have to. Certain people need to eat 4 or 5 times a day. Or if you eat more than 3 times a day, then break it up into smaller meals because, sometimes digestive issues can interfere. But it says here, a very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured, and he fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed. And you better believe this chick, man, she literally gets out the car, she's out of breath. Literally, how the hell you going to be out of breath for sticking a key in the door, my man? And Lord forbid you have to walk up 3 flights of stairs, which in your case, it would be quite beneficial. Because this is just ridiculous, man. As big as this woman is, and she think this is a damn joke. And when the famine comes, hey, the Lord is going to show you the example of getting on a diet. Because eventually the food is going to be scarce out here. There's not going to be any food in these supermarkets or grocery stores that you're going to be able to have access to. But it says sound sleep cometh of moderate eating, right? Because you notice if you eat shit before you go to bed, or heavy fried foods or snacks and sweets, you'll have nightmares, have night terrors, you know. But if you eat decent little meal hours before you go to bed, got time to digest, drink your waters and stuff like that. Like me personally, I try to eat a clove of garlic if I have it, or I get some magnesium, something to kind of help me rest. Like when I eat a clove of garlic, hey, I sleep like a baby, man. You know, because it's something in the compounds that helps the body to relax. Forgot what they called it, but it says the sound sleep coming of moderate eating, and he riseth early, and his wits are with him. And the pain of watching and choler and pains of the belly are with an unsightable men. Okay, so you better believe she has all types of digestive issues. You know, her food is not breaking down. It's probably rotting in her gut because she don't have enough stomach acid. You know, bile reflux, all types of stuff is going on with this woman. You know, bagged up for days, weeks, probably months. You know, Putin. It's just a shit show. And I guarantee she probably got kids too. But it says, and if thou hast been forced to eat, arise, go forth, vomit, and thou shalt have rest. Because, you know, them times like when you have a stomach ache and you got food sitting in your gut, you throw it up. And then after a while, you know, you get the bacteria out, your body starts to recover. You know. But it says, my son, hear me and despise me not. And at the last thou shalt find as I've told thee, and all thy works be quick, so there no sickness come upon thee. But whosoever is liberal of his meat, men shall speak well of him, and the report of his good housekeeping will be believed. Yeah. But against him that is a niggard of his meat, the whole city shall murmur, and the testimonies of his niggerness shall not be doubted of. Yeah, so word gets around. You know, putting your ass on display. As this woman, you know, she needs to be publicly outed. Salakia. Hold on, let me get another preset real quick. Sirach 37. And I'm going to start at verses 28. It says, for all things are not profitable for all men, neither have every soul pleasure in everything, but be not unsightable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats. For excessive meats bringeth sickness, and servitude would turn into choler. Yeah, servitude, partying, drinking. It says would turn into choler. And by surfeiting many have perished, but he that taketh heed prolongeth his life. And hey, this woman, she's gonna perish, man. That's if the Lord don't keep her alive in a famine, because the Most High can keep her alive in a famine just to starve her out, just to prove a point. Like, look, this is what happens when you disobey. Slakia. Damn bugs. Anyway, let me look this word up. Unsatiable. Unsatiable. Go here. Oops. Is it insatiable or unsatiable? It's pretty much the same thing. Let me see here. Obsolete. Unsatisfied. Possible to satisfy, not satiable, incapable of being satisfied or appeased, very greedy. Very greedy. So it says here, be not very greedy in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats. That's the definition of unsatiable. Insatiable or unsatiable. Never satisfied, very greedy, and an insatiable appetite, thirst, or desire. No balance, no discipline. know nothing, and she be the main one talking about I need to find a man. Well, good luck with that, baby. For real. Colored. Anger, irritability. Quality of being bully is the bile, formerly supposed to be the seat and cause of inscrutability, irritation, passions, anger. As we know, like certain fried foods, like the hormones and shit they cook that stuff in, it can cause you to have a lot. That's why I mentioned, it can cause you to bug out. Like the foods we always go into, like how the YNs, how these niggas are totally bugged out because they diets. They eat heavy fried foods. They eat sweets, sugars, candies, no vegetables, no water, all Kool-Aid based products. That's why they're so aggressive like that. What you put in your body, it shows, man. So if you always irritated and irritable and up, just in a lethargic type spirit, it's probably you need to check in what you put in your body, man. The heavy fried foods and all that stuff. Hey, brothers, you gotta be mindful on what the hell you eat. I mean, I know we in Babylon. I know that, we only can get what we can get. But at the same time, man, there's things you can do about eating certain shit. Like, you just got to be careful on what you're putting in your bodies, man. We getting older now and things are getting ready to come down the wire. Brothers should at least have decent eating habits. Some of us got cheat days on weekends. But even if you eating so-called cheat foods, your burgers and your cookies, not your cookies, but your burgers and your chicken and shit, make sure that you have the best ingredients. Like if you gonna eat, ain't nothing wrong with eating hamburgers. If you eating plant-based burgers and you have like a sourdough bread, something that's actually good for the gut, you can eat it any time. But even then, you want to still be careful on what you're eating. Don't go to no goddamn big McDonald's and get you a Big Mac. You can go to the store, go to Whole Foods and get you some grass-fed beef and some onions and some tomatoes. Get you some lettuce, get you some good bread with 3 ingredients in it. And home make your meals, cut your potatoes up, whatever, or what you call sweet potato fry, whatever, man. There's ways around it. Because believe it or not, eating a good, a good burger, grass-fed burger is not bad for you. You got omega-3 fatty acids. In fact, it's actually not bad at all if you have the right ingredients in it. If you're eating chicken sandwiches and stuff like that, if you frying it, let go of the canola oils, let go of the vegetable oils. Don't fry it in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Olive oils, bake the shit, grill it. Olive oil, coconut oil, grapeseed oil. Use the seed, the good seed oils to make your food in. That way you ain't got to worry about being all jacked up, man. That's Jake's problem. Jake is all fucked up. The diet's all fucked up. But anyway, one last precept and I end it. Salakia, I didn't intend for this to drag out this long, but it is what it is. All right, this is the book of our second Addis 9. And I'm going to start at verses... start at verses 21. And it says, and I saw and spirited... Matter of fact, I started 22. It says, let the multitude perish then which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, which the grape is talking about the elect, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Okay, but it says, let the multitude that was born in vain perish. So she's just a vain spirit. She just gonna perish, man. All right, but anyway, this is the end of this. I ain't gonna continue to talk about this. I just saw it through the spirit, wanted to speak on it, but this is ridiculous, man. You know what? One more, Salaki, one more precept. Let me go and bring this out. Isaiah 1, and I'm gonna start at verses 5. It says, why should ye be stricken anymore? And it reads, it says, you will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, the whole heart is faint. From the sole of the foot even to the head, there is no soundness in it. That's why I mentioned about the elevator going up to the 3rd floor. Hers stop at floor 2. And it says there is no sinus in it, but wounds and bruises and petrifying sores. And they have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. So there's no healing. Nobody's coming to heal. Nobody's saying, look, do better. This is the condition they want to see Jake in, so they can say, aha, we told you these people are nothing but a bunch of degenerates, man. in many cases, you can't blame them, all right? But anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Our Lord's will, you are edified. Until the next lesson. Shalom.
Hey, y'all, what's going on today? Today I went to Popeyes. You know they got they new wraps. Yes, they had a new wrap today. Oh, bitch, I gotta make 3 apple pies, y'all. I thought I had told them 2, but I guess I had told them 3. Okay, y'all, let's see. They don't even much have tonight. Oh, this is spicy one. Let's see, child, what this giving. It's all total shit. Okay. It was good. Let's see how this one tastes. What is this one? Okay. Oh. This is spicy one. Okay, Popeyes. Popeyes, y'all need to go to each one of y'all Popeyes and tell them how to roll these up. That's the only problem I have.